extremamente gripado, mas vamos jogar, vamos jogar. Jogar e se divertir.
What do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. We don't admire here. We punish. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be intimidating. Grrr. So the prisoners are scared of me. Usually, it's nothing but interesting folks. I'm telling you, in these crazy times, every one of them comes in with some wild tale. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've got my books. All my adventures are in there these days. Because I am. I asked for this post. Just to get some peace, quiet, and warmth. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls, and none of that cursed biting wind. I'm telling you, it's heaven. And I get to read my books too. So if you've got anything interesting, I'd be glad to trade.
Who are you? What do you want? I don't recognize your face. I am. They told me it's for my safety, and the safety of others. I don't like it. The keep is supposed to be my home, and yet here I am, locked in a damn jail. That cursed madman from the refugee group bit me. I think his name is Cole. The boys told me he's locked up in a cage now. Good. That's the proper place for animals like him. By the all-mother, if I'd known he was carrying some foul disease, I wouldn't have gone near them. He's just mad. I told the others the group of refugees would bring no good here. And as you can see, I wasn't wrong. Cursed bastards. Damned if I know. Whenever I've had a fever or cold before, I could always explain it. But this, I can't find the words. Sometimes it feels like I'm fading away. Like the part of me that makes me who I am is disappearing. I don't know how to describe it. And there's a voice at times. It calls to me. Each night it draws nearer. Like a dreadful howl. Not at all human, that's for sure. At times,
Ele tá com a morte rubra, hein?
words within it. But more often it's like a noise from deep within the bowels of the earth. Like something very wicked. The medic and that red priest both came to see me. Both shrugged, offering no cure. Heber says I should wait. But if you've got anything stronger to drink, I wouldn't say no. It might ease the pain. Even just for a little. Thanks. That's really nice of you. Hold fast and steer clear of those strangers.
Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aymer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work. Huh? Ah, yes, of course. So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the stale lamb? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when more arrives. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in? For the sake of our long friendship? Orla. I'm sure I'm not mistaken. Anyway, about that favor I asked of you. I guess you still haven't sobered up, huh? The Stale Lamb. You know, the tavern in the village below the keep. It's run by Ron. Truly a great place. I hope they're not planning to close it down. Oh, they wouldn't do that, right? Just as we agreed. I appreciate that you remember. Holding one's tongue is the key to success. Keep it up. You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Say you understand. Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Ron's, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus sealed. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem. Splendid. When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around. bloody seagulls! Can you hear me? You flying vermin! Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want? I'm fixated. Me! Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then, suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So, I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4, splat! And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that? I don't think so. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. A fee? I'm not asking you to hunt down a monstrosity from Grubwood or the Sunken Village. Ah, whatever. As you wish. You'll get your fee. You must think yourself an expert, damn you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson and keep away from me. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. There is one guy in the museum, Riderick. He's supposed to know everything.
Were you at the pledge? I didn't see you. Yeah. Victory over health. Honor over life. Yeah. Bandits, tribes, Sodomon. Sleep, damn it, is the worst son of a bitch I ever fought. No sleep.
É bardo?
The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve. Not. I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day. Sometimes 20. Besides, a true keeper doesn't sleep. He keeps watch. The old mother will reward me after I'm dead. But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yang put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Good stuff. Excuse me? Those were local supplies for every keeper. Shit. Maybe I was stealing. Ugh, I never thought about it like that. Service.
Tô super pesado.
At the feet. Your feet and my priceless seedlings. I swear, your nosiness will be the death of you. I should stay out of trouble. I have no choice but to defend myself. Nice to see you. Hey. Hello. Are you also wondering why the heck we need them? Lighthouses. Why the hell are Dara and his workers pushing so hard to build the second one? Is one not enough? Is it because one is less than two and less is worse? I mean, two lighthouses next to each other are almost the same as one, and ships don't even sail this way anymore. Ah, symbolism. Yeah, maybe. Whatever that is. Aye, why would they? The waters are treacherous, so no ships. Storms and the weirdness are a deadly combination. Besides, who'd have the time to build or repair them? There are enough problems on the island. We don't need more. Well, not much going on here, as you can see. Things have been a bit different lately, due to the refugees. One was even hanged for theft. But I can't say much more as I wasn't there. If you're interested in the horns, you should visit our museum. You'll learn more about that fella, Swal, or whatever his name is. What do I think? As long as they follow the rules, they can stay. And if they don't, then they can hang. That's all. Folks are saying that there's some other group, probably more dangerous, not so far from here. If they come closer, well, that wouldn't be too good. Aye, it's boring, but at least you don't have to pay to enter. But almost nobody goes there anyway. You can stay here and serve. Sit in the tavern, drink and eat something. If you're looking for an adventure, you'll have to go elsewhere. There's always something happening out in the world. But you know what? Here in the south, everything happens late. It's a big world out there, and a small one right here. I wonder if, once they finish this one, they'll start building a third.
Eita, considerem vida. Os humoristas? Cadê os humoristas? Cadê os filipenses? Yes. Still tastes like shit. Exactly how my mother would make it. It's just what I needed. Oh, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's just that every time I doubt my service in the Horns of the South, I need a reminder of why I enlisted. My mother wasn't much of anything, to tell the truth. She always said I was good for nothing, and that I should be glad she even kept me. And every day she'd bring back home a new uncle. Many of those uncles like to kick me out of my own house when they were drinking and getting busy. Then, when she'd sober up and got rid of an uncle, she'd bake me that pie as an apology. It always tasted like shit. If the other villagers hadn't been feeding me, I would have starved to death. Hence the pie. I wouldn't know. When I left my village, I decided to never look back. So I just assumed one of those uncles finally beat her to death.
Nossa senhora. Vou voltar lá pro acampamento. Lembrei que eu tinha que fazer isso, esqueci, cara.
nice day.
Vamos colocar essas armas todas aqui. Tô achando. Esse aqui eu coloco. Dá pra usar. Deixa eu ver se dá pra usar. Quer 12 de força. Tá, não dá pra usar. Esse aqui eu vou deixar os 4 equipados. Esse arco não dá pra usar. Nossa, o flecha elas pesam também. O flecha tem peso 0. Equipar essa bota depois. Ficar só com as gazulas e com isso aqui.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. And I mean it! He's a know-it-all from Camelot, but the truth is, he doesn't know shit. All of those academic types think they're better than us village folk, just 'cause they read a book. We've been getting by just fine without any of their crap. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osprey to get it pulled out. Sounds like horse crap. My grandma was smarter than your lot, and she couldn't even read. She knew how to make a proper potion for toothache. If I were any good at mixing that stuff, I wouldn't need to deal with quacks like Heber. I even gave him my grandma's recipe, but he said it was no good. No, Heber took it, the plonker. Said if I don't know how to make it, I shouldn't have it. And that he doesn't want some questionable homebrew medicine spreading through the keep. He says it's no good. Says that if I don't get the tooth pulled out, it'll keep hurting. I told him that's why I need the remedy, to make it stop hurting. But it's like talking to a brick wall. You will? Oh, You're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter.
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. No, and I'm reluctant to admit that I'm unable to help with this matter. Cole's symptoms are unlike anything I've ever seen. I'm certain it's not one of the usual maladies carried by wild animals. As for the bite on my horn, although it was a nasty wound at first, it healed very quickly. On Cole, it's barely visible. Healing diseases, sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone around here. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out. I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group. Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups. There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died, came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose, or endure it. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky. Well, they already trust my word. I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patients something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony? The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know, and how insignificant you are to the world. Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. What will happen, I have no idea, but please tell me, if you live to find out. I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane, because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this. What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do? Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans. Good point. That is a very good point. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Back at the academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead.
Nossa. Nossa.
That is an excellent question, but I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there. In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? Nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit of their knowledge. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me.
Ele seria interessante.
you're back. How's the remedy? Thank you. Ah, I'll finally be able to eat something. Here, take this as my thanks for your help.
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. Yes, the sensation is unmistakable. But it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this
Museu pequenininho.
fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. I have to admit that local fauna is not one of my main areas of interest, but I do know the answer to this question, as it is rooted in the history of the Horns of the South. It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily catch was gobbled up by our troublesome coastal neighbors. So the keepers of that time found a very peculiar way to deal with the problem. Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. They made them from feathers and pieces of tanned pigskin sewn together. The reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps their peculiar shape reminded them of a natural predator? It began in the year 42. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Oh, of course. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sewell Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. Yes, remarkable, isn't it? You can find them in the central display. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sewell's boots. and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them. It is indeed an interesting exhibit. The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone, with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day.
Of course it's interesting. I don't understand how it could not be. It is part of our history, our cultural heritage. But I digress.
The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. The edges are decorated with the motifs of Camelot, a crown and a bear. However, those ornaments are of visibly low quality. That detail, and the fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day, leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion, and that it was finished by a person unfamiliar with this kind of craft, perhaps a blacksmith or an armorer. Really? Do you mean it? Thank you. That's really nice to hear. I'm not used to positive feedback. Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me, or touching the exhibits with their greasy fingers. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513. It was described in The Last Voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I'd say it should be classified as fiction. Lady Elaine thought differently. Apparently she's looking for the wreck of the Andraste. Can you believe that? Definitely. Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations, for there's always a chance it will result in new developments. You should find Lady Elaine in the tavern, or somewhere close to it. Good luck.
Hope nothing bad happens today. What a nice day.
Estava esperando que ele fosse ter material de forja, não tem nada. Essa aqui é a máscara, né, provavelmente.
Just another people.
Just stay put. There you are. Finally. Do you have what I need? A mask? Eh? Are you sure? Ah, whatever. Sod it. Now they'll get what's coming to them. Damn rascals. You can go now. You're right. Here, take this. But don't think, even for a moment, that the struggle is over. We need more, much more, to finally rid ourselves of those blasted birds once and for all. Are you ready for the next step in our fight against the flying, shitting enemy? That's the spirit!
In a war like this, every ally counts. Look, I've got the perfect seagull trap design right here. You just need to make a few and set them up in some strategic spots, like this one. And those flying pests will surely get caught. We need to work smart. Go on then, and fight against the flying vermin.
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him. I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards.
Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fat angry at the world.
But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine.
If Haber doesn't, then I don't either. So we keep trying. Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass, and I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an archie. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him. Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Hordes. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail. I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once, but nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess. Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. Don't forget that. If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. See you around.
mercy, not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble? That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people. The deck? Just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bid started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of? You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems, but it'd be a start. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. The budget's long gone. But if you're interested, I could teach you a thing or two about home decor. Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well, we all have our secrets. Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa. Something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. If I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again. Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed in a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture. The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit. Where chairs don't wobble. Tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds. Well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep. Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But, hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Mine just happens to be daydreaming about nicer chairs. Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Heber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all. No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd be a laughingstock. I'd rather sit here and hope everything works itself out. I mean, everyone's gotta die someday, right? So whether it's me or them, at least my problems will be over.
wish Morris were here with me already. Do you need help settling in, dear? This isn't the best day to start a new life in this place, but we don't always get to choose, do we? What a nasty business with that boy. I'm almost glad my Morris isn't here for this. He's such a bleeding heart. Oh, I'm not sure, love. I don't move around too much. I just heard about that fight with the road keeper, and now poor Cole's locked up in a cage. Him and Patrice make such a lovely young couple. They remind me of Morris and me when we were their age. I'm sorry, dear. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm still not used to all this. You see, I was born in Little Grove and thought I would live out the rest of my life there, working in the orchards in the mornings and drinking warm cider with my beloved in the evenings. We never wanted to see the world. I guess sometimes the world doesn't give us a choice, does it? That's what people say, but I never agreed. I weathered many storms with my Morris, coming out stronger each time. Avalon taught us to cherish the little joys of our everyday life. Without those lessons, we wouldn't have survived what happened to our village. Little Grove was raided by bandits, a local gang that had been terrorizing the area for months, growing in numbers with each raid. Their leader, Bald Kate they called her, somehow got hold of a branding iron used to mark outlaws. After pillaging a village, she'd brand some men and women of her choosing. That way, Kate made sure nobody would ever help them, and that they'd have no choice but to turn to her if they wanted to survive. My Morris used to be a skilled tanner. I guess that's why she picked him. It is, isn't it? Kate is nothing if not resourceful. It's a shame she doesn't put that talent into helping people instead of hurting them. I don't know. The keeper at the gate turned Morris away because of the brand on his face. I would have left with him, but I was sick and exhausted from the journey, so I promised to join him when I got better. Except now, I've no idea where to find him. No, he only promised that he'd find somewhere safe, but I'm not sure if there is any such place left in the south. Oh, Mother bless you, my dear. That's all I could ask for. Please, let me know as soon as you learn anything. At first, it wasn't so bad, but now it gets worse every day. We just sit around here, doing nothing. Don't get me wrong, we have food, we have a roof over our heads, and we're grateful for that. But no one trusts us enough to let us do any work. None of us wants to be a freeloader, as they call us. I wouldn't mind a task or two to earn my keep and to take my mind off my troubles. I might not be all hale and hearty, but I've still got two good hands, which is more than you can say about some of the codgers living here. Take care of yourself, love.